with the Salon Center. I want to thank a few people. I want to thank the Alahambra. They put this on. They do a great job. You guys, if you can support them on their show days, they have awesome shows here. They've treated us golden. We really appreciate everything that they've done for us. I want to thank my sales reps that brought this group together. I have some Carlisa came from Tampa, I have Marsha from Lake City, I have Ross, I have, did I forget anybody that's here? And most of all, I'll tell you what, Rich Rose is a fabulous family. It was his energy that thought of this, that did all the groundwork, and really worked his butt off to pull this thing off. And Rich, thank you so much. He's a great rep, and we love you.
Thank you.
Now let's get on the show. We put together two people that you guys love. You've seen them at different shows, different venues, different times, and they're two of the finest international artists in the world. And we're so proud to represent their companies and have them be part of us. One is an international color expert. The other is one of the finest hair cutters you're ever going to see. It's kind of neat that they collaborated as a kind of a team. It's odd when manufacturers will do this together. We asked them to, they did. They swallowed a little bit of pride and help each other out, and they're both so awesome, and you're going to have fun with them. They're great. So now let's get started. From Kaaral International in Italy, Mr. Paul Smith, and from Label M, Anthony Edge.
Hi guys,
this is going to be a competition who talks the most.
Yeah.
And you're all getting a free English accent by the end of that.
Okay, it's cold in England, so I thought I'd wear my shorts. Okay. Tomorrow it's going to rain here because I've got my legs out. Okay, so it's great to be here. Okay, it's nice to see so many people here turning out to see two amazing lines. Obviously, a little bit of background on myself. My name's Anthony. I'm from Label M. I've been a hairdresser for over 20 years. I'm from England. I live over here now. I live in Florida. I live in Miami. I travel every single week doing shows and seminars around the US. I do about 400 shows a year. Okay, this is my last show for 2013, so let's finish it on a good one. Alright, but I thought it'd be really nice to team up with a good friend of mine called Paul Smith, who's the the global international artistic and educational director for Kaaral.
That was the biggest title I've had in years. You made that up. If you want to see my business card, it's like this long.
I gave you $100 to say that. But like Pete said, we don't normally team up like this. Normally you come and see a Label M show, and then later on you would go and see a Kaaral show. And I don't colour hair, okay? I know Paul does both. You're going to see him do a haircut as well. But all the colour work is all from Kaaral. We've directed from obviously Paul, and Mark has been a great help as well, which you'll meet Mark later on as well. They've been great helping out with all the colours for me. Last time I did a colour was for a cap 20 years ago. After a perm. Yeah. And then you pull the cap off and say, please, it still be on the head. We don't need to texturise today. Just use lots of conditioner. But I don't want to steal anyone's thunder because I'm coming on later.
I haven't got any thunder, I haven't said anything.
But lightning. Alright, so I'm going to pass you over to the wonderful Paul Smith. He's going to obviously share with you all about Kaaral, about their colours, their inspiration or their collection, and obviously feel interactive. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I will see you shortly. So
you don't have to leave, you should stay here for a minute. You know, I love our industry, as I'm sure everyone in this room does, because you're here.
Right.
You know, and it shows your professionalism when you give up your time to come and see, you know, one old queen and a great hairdresser here. Well, anyone who's going to get his legs out.
Didn't watch that, you did.
Great time. No, you know, but for all of us, you know, we're all hairdressers together, hair colours, hair colorists, and you know, I always feel very honoured to speak to you, to share ideas that we have. You know, we all do the same job at the end of the day, and it's about sharing and getting inspiration. I have to say to all of you, you know, the last 2 days working with Anthony has been fantastic. When you get somebody's different approach to hair, with his background, it inspires how the colours turn out as well. So it's been pretty amazing because, as Pete said before, it's kind of unusual for two companies that are both, you know, after the same business type of thing to work together. But you know, it is inspiring. We're all struggling to be successful together, you know, whether it's the manufacturer or whether it's, you know, our work within the salons. So, you know, from both of us, a huge thank you for being here, first of all. We are going to start the show, so, you know, you can take your legs backstage.
Yeah, you can go.
You know.
Thank you, guys.
Fabulously talented, but just the tiniest bit crazy. But anyhow, so from my side, as Anthony said, you know, I head up education for Kaaral worldwide, and some of you may have experienced the product. We've actually only been in the USA for 3 years, and although the company itself is about 33 years old, we manufacture in Italy. It's a family-owned business. I think it's kind of really important in this day and age for every single one of us that because myself and my partner Francesca, who you'll see on the video in a second, we were working for very, very large corporations that begins with an L and then it has an apostrophe. What? And you know, the thing is, quite honestly, I mean, and it's never ever knocking another company, none of us getting by doing that, but that's become a different animal. You know, the world is owned by L'Oreal, respectfully, and good on them. But they own the world. They probably own our house. We don't know it. Right? They've got our mortgage, but you know, but it becomes a very different industry. And after many, many years, 25 years of corporate life, you know, Francesca and I said, this is kind of not why we came into this industry. Why we came into this industry was this, us. Together, all of us, who were struggling to be successful and do a great job. And so we actually took a deep breath and left. And that was kind of tough because L'Oreal have got very deep pockets for hay. But we left because it wasn't really about the relationship anymore. And we went out and found this company called Kaaral, who are in Italy. It's a family-owned company, so it's a very different atmosphere, different type of company completely. And the success or failure is focused on the relationship with the hairdresser.
That's good.
So thank you. I love you. Who are you? I love you that much. We'll get the boat and sail off to the field later on. No, but I think it's really important because for all of us who are struggling to be more successful, at times, I don't know whether you ever feel like me, that you're working away and then you go, well, you know, as salon owners or running your own business, who's inspiring me? Who's with me to help me become better? So, bless you. So, that was a long throw, whoever sneezed there before. So the thing is that we set up this company as a very, very different company. We don't have titles because it's very important in other corporate lives. So we don't have titles, we don't have offices because it was kind of really important in our other life. And really, our success now is about this relationship. So, you know, God bless every single one of you, and hopefully some of you are using the products. Because I've got to pay my mortgage. Right. So I'm going to start with the video. Rich is there. Look, Rich is here. How about a big round of applause for Rich? He was wearing shorts as well before, but he's put pants on now, haven't you? So let's start off and we'll tell you a little bit about the company. So let's roll that video, Rich.
My mama told me when I was young, we're all born superstars. She rolled my hair, put my lipstick on. There's nothing wrong with loving who you are, she said, 'cause he made you perfect, babe. So hold your head up, girl, and you'll go far.
We have been passionate from the day of our inception. Our tagline is, "Passion is at the heart of beauty." That's who we are. We don't do anything without passion. If we do something and we're not passionate about it, we stop doing it.
Le passioni che condividiamo per l'hairdressing è la stessa e facciamo questo lavoro con la stessa voglia di fare sempre bene, di fare sempre meglio, di essere a fianco ai parrucchieri.
We already have the most talented team of educators that we call Corroborating.
I've never been more comfortable with any education team in 30 years.
Everything that we do with education is family-based, so we truly care about our customers, we truly care about what we teach.
La voglia di portare i prodotti made in Italy per tutti i professionisti nel mondo è stata la spinta che ci ha dato la possibilità di sognare.
The products are great. They're very versatile. There's one for everybody. They're all intermixable. You can cocktail them together and it really gives you an endless amount of possibilities.
Jestem dwukrotnym mistrzem Europy. Linia Bako są to doskonałe produkty do koloryzacji włosów. Pracuję również przy użyciu tych produktów przy pracach konkursowych.
From a distributor perspective, it's amazing because you really do feel as though they're willing to do what they need to do to help you grow the business, to help them grow the business, to help the hairdresser be passionate about what they do.
If I want to talk to the owners of the company, I hit 5 on my speed dial and Francesca answers the phone. If you want to do that with another line, forget about it.
We love to create very close relationships with our customers. We say we're one away, one Facebook message away, one email away, one text message away, one phone call away from our customers. They can always reach us.
Noi parrucchieri siamo per loro non un numero, ma bensì un elemento importante di tutta l'azienda, che veniamo quindi considerati e veniamo ascoltati.
It's so important today that in an industry that is forever changing, you cannot stand still. We focus on partnering with the hairdresser to bring them progressive education that is going to keep them at the forefront of their chosen field.
The success of our clients is the reason why we wake up in the morning and we go to work and we try to make great products, great education programs, great business support, select the right partners when it comes to distribution so that we can service our clients in the best possible way.
Io definisco Kaaral una compagnia familiare globalizzata.
It's very unique in the industry to have a family-feeling company, and everyone loves it because everyone wants to be a part of the family.
We very much look forward to the times that we get to spend together. You know, it's like bringing the family home. It's a beautiful thing.
They're a great family to work with and they really care about the distributors.
Per questo che Kaaral nasce, per stare a fianco al parrucchiere, nasce grazie al parrucchiere e vive grazie al parrucchiere.
We're a young company, but we know that we were born for this.
Same team.
I will walk with you now. Listen, I can do it, you know. This is Ashley, everybody.
Hello.
Say hello to Ashley. Okay, let's keep it in the center, Ashley, and do a little spin. Do a little spin for me. Do you like? Yes. Yeah. Good. Good. Thank goodness. Could you imagine asking my question and someone saying, no, I actually think it's a load. What I want to do just before I start with Ashley's hair, because we love it and think it's beautiful, the condition looks spectacular and everything. And what we're loving at Kaaral at this moment in time, and I think in our industry and runway and fashion is reflecting it, that we're seeing blondes with more colour. You know, for years when we had those clients, and we've all got them, we've still got them, that come in and they want to be as light and as ash as possible. You know, and the slightest bit of warmth and it's like you're dead. and there's, I don't know whether you like me, we love techniques, whether it's colouring or cutting, that get great colour with very little effort. You know, that we can start to make some money. You know, I mean, you've all been there on the Saturday, busy Saturday, when the client comes in with the long, long hair right down here and she wants a bald head of blonde highlights. Love it. Wouldn't it be easier to kill yourself? I mean, because it's the most mind-numbing, boring thing, isn't it? You know, I mean, well, think about it. I mean, it's really boring, isn't it? You know, and they have that many highlights, and 2 weeks later they need another set. So we love the fact that we're seeing a lot more blondes like Ashley's, where we're seeing some tone in it as well as just colourless hair. Because I think down here the sun can do that to you as well, can't it? So it's great if you start with some colour at least. The colour that we're featuring today in throughout the whole seminar is a new colour that we just launched called Maress. I'm actually going to sit Ashley down here. You don't have to scan this with me. You okay? All right. It's called Maress, and it's this one here. I don't know whether you've seen it or not. But we launched with a colour line called Bacco, which is beautiful. But there's a huge trend at the moment. There's actually two huge trends in our industry. One is the oil trend, which you've heard, and in particular we talked about L'Oreal, and again, you know, I mean, at the forefront, but oil being an agent to deliver colour into the hair, so it works differently to the way traditional hair colour works. So the oil, what the oil in the colour does, instead of the colour, like traditional colour, having to have ammonia, the oil works on the principle of refraction, which is, you know, like when you drop water or oil into a puddle, or you see oil in a puddle, oil pushes everything away. So instead of having ammonia in a hair colour to open the cuticle layers, what happens is I'm going to put that in, is that because the oil is in there, when you mix it and you put it on the hair, you have all these colour molecules that are trying to get away. That's my impersonation of colour molecules. Right, so they're actually being pushed away by the oil. So you don't have to stress the hair quite so much and open the cuticle layers as much, because the colour molecules are forced in. So it's a different way of hair colour working. And the other big trend that we address with Maress is the free off trend, which is huge. And it's very interesting because, you know, I don't know anybody who might be my age in the room, 23, but anybody else who might be my age in the room, nobody had allergies when I was a kid. You do remember, like in school or friends or family, nobody had allergies, and now, you know, people like sniff a peanut and they die. You know, it's really, but you know, we looked into it, and you know, it's a fact. It's a fact, and I'll stop the lecture in a minute. It's a fact that they say now that 10% plus of the population are allergic to certain ingredients that are found in hair color and hair products. So there's 10% of the population here coming into the salon that do we have an offer for? You know, what can we do? And I'm sure all of you have got people like this in the salon that you just cannot stand to have any form of product on the hair. So the free art trend, with Maress, we removed ammonia, we removed PPD. PPD is interesting because PPD is the thing, you know, every few years when this thing rises to the surface when they say hair color could be carcinogenic. You know, and then it kind of disappears again, and then a few years later it happens again. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And it's interesting, the reason it disappears is they can't prove it, but they like to link it. But the very suggestion is enough for clients to start coming into us that either have allergies or have fear, or that their family, you know, unfortunately has been touched by cancer, to say, do you have a hair color that's PPD free? It's a bit like gluten, it's gluten free. Gluten, I don't know what gluten does to us. Does anybody know? It might be this. That's my gluten, isn't it? But my six-pack. But gluten, you know, it's interesting because I don't actually know what gluten does do other than the fact that it solidifies stuff. But the thing is, you go into the supermarket now and you pick the one that says gluten-free. That's the power of suggestion. So gluten's gone out of it. There's no added salts, no parabens in it either. So all the things that people have fear of are taken out of the range. And instead we get beautiful, beautiful hair color that you see on all the models that we show today. So the first haircut that I'm going to do, it's very, very simple. Very simple. I'll tell you about the hair color in a second. Very simple because, as I said before, cutting, coloring, in Kaaral, the more simple we make anything, the better. It means we get through it quickly, and we can hopefully make some more money, because that's at the end of the day what we need. It comes from our collection called Architecture. And Rich, I think, can you roll the video just while I get Ashley ready?
Sure.
It's just a quick snippet, everybody. Oh, that's it. can see that none of the team could jump at the end. We went about that high off the floor, you know. But the haircut that we're going to do is very, very simple. Now, it's kind of interesting because if you look at any of the runway at the moment, in music as well, in fashion, that this length, I already cut the baseline, and because quite honestly, you don't need to see me do a straight line. You can do that. We can all do that. So, but this length is actually considered now to be the really hot new long, rather than longer, because longer gets really limited, you know, as to what you can do with it. So you'll see this, you know, on so many people in fashion and everything, sort of just below the shoulders. Now the haircut that you saw was kind of the blonde biker chick that was dressed a little bit more sort of tousled than it will be on Ashley. So very simply, it's 2 sections. It's so very easy, and of course you can take it to as short as you want it. But the section 1 is the baseline, whatever length you want it to be, and it can be longer. The second section is working from a V in the front, and everything comes to the V. Everything comes to the V till we hit the center of the back, and then you drop it all, and that's it. It's very easy. Now let's think about what we're going to get. If we cut the V at the front, so I've got the length, and I'm going to work with the little bit of length that she's got here at the front. So it's there to there, working to the same angle all the time. So everything works to the angle of the hairline, pull forward, angle of the hairline, pull forward, angle of the hairline, until we hit the center of the back, or you run out of hair. And the same with the other side, you know, working with the hairline, working to the front, working to the front. But it wraps around the head, nothing goes over. If you go over, you're going to lose a lot of length. If you keep the same angle all the time, you will have the most perfect graduation through the haircut. Then if you wanted to take it a bit shorter, which I don't think we're going to with Ashley because she kind of likes the length of her hair, you can actually take everything off and just scoop out the middle. That's the haircut. So it's 1, 2, 3 sections if you want it. It's simple. It's simple. You know, let's keep it easy. You know, I think there's been a lot of ego hairdressing over the years, hasn't there? You know, people stand there, and you've seen it. I tease Anthony about that, you know, because we're doing all these colours, and we coloured all his models, and he's like, what's going on? It's all at 7 o'clock at night. And I said, well, Anthony, all you do is just stand there and you go. And you know, we've got to like put colour on all these heads and everything. I'm like, please, please. So you know, so what we're going to do is we're going to start. And I'll keep moving unless you're filming. Are you?
I can, yeah.
You know what's awful? The microphone here actually has a backpack.
Yeah.
Does it make my bum look big?
Yeah.
It does. I'm square, which is even worse, isn't it? You know? I don't know. Okay, so we're going to start from the front. We're going to start from a V. Section 1 is a V. Let's show that. Turn your head for me. Turn the head. Okay. It starts from a V, and the length is going to reflect that V. Are you getting in there, Rich?
Yes, we're getting it. It's too big for the screen. Sorry.
That was a really deep voice that said that. What are you doing with my bum anyway? Okay. Alright, so we're working at the same angle. So look, we pulled here, the angle, it's cut to the same angle. And that is, my fingers are heading towards that length. So as long as you stay to that, you're not going to lose anything. And again. Let's turn this way. You didn't know it was going to be so spinny, did you? So listen, again, it's kind of interesting because Ashley's hair, just to give you a little bit of history on the colour as well. She's a 6 naturally.
I think she's a 10.
Well, she is a 10. Yeah. Who said that? Is that you're a dog? Really? Okay, so this angle. She's a 6 naturally. And you know, one of the things that I love about the fact that we've gone arrest now, it has no ammonia and all of that. You know, sometimes when you've got a client and they have some old highlights and you're like, where do I go with it? Because she's ready to have a full head, but you're like, I've got these highlights and can I paint in between them? I don't want to, you know, the hair's already really light. We just went over it all. Over everything, because quite often with traditional colours, ammonia can be the thing that actually makes the hair more porous. So we did the regrowth, because she had a bit of a regrowth, like 2 inches, and then we immediately, 15 minutes, and then we went through the rest of the hair with the highlight colour. The highlight colour from Arrest that we used is an 11.2, which is an 11 violet. So it's 11 highlight, 0.2 violet. And it's kind of interesting with highlight colours because, you know, I often get the question, when do we use what with a highlight colour? And you use the highlight colour depending on the base of what you're working on, not the colour. Because if you show the colour to the client, it's always that client that lays their head on the swatch book, isn't it, and says, it's not the same. Because don't forget, the highlight colour isn't actually a colour. Highlight colours, and this is every range that we're talking about now. Highlight colour is a means, it's a tool to get hair light and toned in one. So if we think of the base of a 6, which is where Ashley was, think of the base of a 6, her underlying pigment is probably more likely to be gold. With gold you need violet to neutralise it, to get a nice soft blonde. Sometimes if you go with something as heavy as like a grey-green ash, which is like a 0.1, the blonde is never as beautiful because it has that kind of heavy cast to it. So pick your highlight according to the base of what you're working on. Does that make sense? So what we did 11.2, and that was the base all over. And then what we did is, when that was completed, because we wanted to see a little bit more colour, and it's always a little bit of a fear, what do you do for blondes? How can you make blondes a little more interesting? What can you put into it? And we've got a couple of models to show you. The tone that you're seeing running through, and the models will be here, have a close look afterwards. The tone that you're seeing running through it is a woven light through the hair, just through the top panel, through the top only. And the woven light is 10-0, which is lightest blonde, 10-0, and a light blonde copper mixed together, which is really, really beautiful. It almost gives like a soft apricot in the hair, which I don't know what you're seeing from out there. I have to, but I think you can see this. Yeah. You can? We're good. You are? Yeah. Thank you for that. So it gives you like a soft apricot. What's interesting for me is if you always think of your 10-0 in any range, whether it's ours or whether it's somebody else's, if you think of the 10-0 as being like white paint, then you can add anything to it to make any colour you want. And when I'm teaching colour, I always say, well, people are saying to me things like, how do I make Kelly Osbourne? You've seen Kelly Osbourne's hair lately. I mean, I personally really like it, but sometimes it looks better than others. But and so the thing is, if you always think of the 10-0 as being white paint, and I'm like, okay, well, how do you see Kelly Osbourne's hair? And they're like, well, I see it like a violet blonde, or a violet type tone. So I'm like, okay, how would you, or a violet grey? It is really, isn't it? I would say, well, if you were thinking of paint, how would you make violet grey? And they go, well, I'd probably use white, and maybe some violet and some black. And so that's exactly how you do it with hair colour. So like for a Kelly Osbourne type colour, you use 10-0 and violet black mixed together over blonde, and you'll get that type of colour. And I know it feels a little painful when you put like black in to tone a blonde, but it works. It works. So you'd have like a half a tube of 10-0 and about 5 or 6 inches of black violet to make it. Just think of paint, it's exactly the same. So we love it in Jacksonville, everybody. Thanks for being so hospitable. And we have to do a big shout out to our friends from Omni Salon over there who let us destroy their salon with our color yesterday, didn't you? But they were great. And they made sandwiches. I didn't have the salad. Somebody told me it was really spicy. They tossed it. Really? It's in the fridge. Okay, we'll have it next year. Maybe the spices will die down a little bit by then.
What strength of developer do you use on that?
With the high lift, double 40. Double 40. You want to get anywhere with the high lift, you need double 40. But you know, I mean, put your hands in Ashley's hair afterwards. The condition is spectacular. You know, you've really not got to worry about it. I mean, don't forget, as soon as, you know, the thing is, when you mix a developer, what is on the bottle is not what's active in the hair. Because as soon as you mix it, it's like, you know, a lot of people, I've been into salons, and none of you, because you're all fabulous. You're here, so you're fabulous. You know, I'm our friends and loved ones already, aren't we? We've been together 10 minutes. But I've been into salons that they say we never use 40. You know, or we only use 20, and I'm like, well, you know, how do you lighten? And they're like, well, we can't possibly do it. And I'm like, well, the reality is, as soon if you have a colour that mixes 1-to-1, as soon as you mix 40 with your colour, your active oxygen is 20.
Right.
So, you know, it's kind of like, think it through. It's fine, you know, there's no problem there. Am I talking too much about? Did you just see Mark? Then he comes out and slapped his watch. That one's getting a pink slip tonight. Okay, Mark, I'm going faster. Did you hear that? She's like, no. That's probably Anthony coming onto that, you know. Get him off the stage, I want to go on. I want to show my legs off.
Do you prefer to cut that dry than wet?
When you're removing, here's how I was taught. And my background, I'm Sassoon, hairdresser, mainly colour, but you still go through it all with Sassoon, you know. The way that their approach was always that when you're removing length, do it when it's wet. When you're removing bulk or putting a shape in like that, do it dry, because you can't see what you're doing when it's wet. You know, have you ever done that and then you dry it and you think, blast, 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 a bit more mousse. You know, because you cannot see. You just can't see. So, yes, dry for the shape. And always, we were always taught, you know, you finish, even if you did most of the haircut wet, you'd finish it dry. the watch again. So, really simply, let's just recap the colour. The colour was 11.2, which is high lift blonde with double 40 volume. And then the section for the apricot was literally through the centre, about 8 foils. It's amazing how much colour you can get with very little work. And then developed for 40 minutes for the high lift to get it up there. Don't forget with high lift, you know, sometimes, do you ever get disappointed with a high lift and you're like, I didn't get enough out of it? Don't forget with hair colour, everybody, you can develop hair colour for up to an hour if you need be. When I trained under a woman called Annie Humphreys, who was probably one of the best hair colorists I've ever seen in my life. She used to get high lift colours and people would say to her, that's not a high lift colour, that's a double process. But I never ever saw her take a high lift colour off under like an hour, even an hour and 15. Because she would get there. There's still a little bit of activity that goes on for that length of time. So you want a bit more out of it, you understand yours. You want a bit more out of it, leave it longer. You know, it's like if you want a bit more vibrancy, leave it longer. Listen, you're fantastic. Guys, you know, we're just here sharing ideas. It's very, very simplistic. So baseline, everything pulled to the front, but now she's got some interest going on. Can you turn that way? Oh, don't flip your head around. She's lovely, really. No, but it's okay. Go and have a little walk. Let's make her do a little walk. See, maybe we'll have to do Okay, so I'm going to show you some more colours now. We've got quite a few colours to get through really quickly. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Billy on the stage. Billy, come on. You there? I love this. You could clap a bit more than that. Okay, listen, let's just spin her a second, because I love this. You know, I love anything that's kind of like glamorous like this, and it's great to see a little bit more hairdressing being done these days as well. So this is Billy. Billy, I'm going to sit you down. And what is great about working, I mean, our company is based in Italy, and what's great about, people say, you know, what inspires you, and there's so many great things in Italy to inspire you, whether it's probably some of the best designers in the world, the best food in the world. Anyone been to Italy? I'm sure you have. Yeah, the best food. And hey, what about the people, the best looking people in the world? Honestly, I went back, I have my neck in a brace. I don't know what it is about, for those of you who've been, you know exactly, and you've probably got friends who are Italian, I don't know what it is about Italy that even when they're not gorgeous, they're gorgeous. You know what I mean? It's about an attitude and everything. So it's great to have that as an inspiration. And we take a lot of inspiration from the designers and also from architecture and things like this. Now this look came from a collection we had called we see a lot of the things that are going on the runway. We look to the Italian runways at this moment in time. You know, there's a lot of dressed hair, but there's a lot of updos, but they're very undone, almost as though somebody had done them themselves. So very, very quickly with Billy's hair, the easiest way for me and anyone who's scared of an updo is to get a rat. You know those things? You know, because everything goes into that and you're safe.
Yeah.
You know, so anyone who's not used them, you can get them in like any drugstore and things like that. And so the best way, we make a base with the rat at the back of the hair, and we're literally going to pull the hair back with my fingers, twist it and pin it. That's it. Very, very simple, very easy and very undone. And it's very, very much what is going on the runway at this moment in time. Now, let me tell you a little bit just before I get into this a bit more. With Billy's hair is kind of like Miss Mouse. You don't mind me saying that, do you? You know I love you. Yeah. It's mousy. So one of the ranges within Maress that we really love at this moment in time is the chocolate colours, because they're just so rich and they're so beautiful and they have beautiful tones. So the colour that we used was a 6.84. And a 6.84 is actually on a dark blonde level, and it's a brunette with a secondary tone of copper. And that's where we get the richness running through her hair. So a brunette with a secondary tone of copper, and we did that with 20 volume. Straight from roots to ends. And left it for 35 minutes and removed it. So, and the result is absolutely gorgeous, you know. So I'm going to carry on doing that. What we're going to do while we do this is, because of the time, we've got some models that we want to bring on. I'll tell you about the colours that we did. So let's bring Sandy on, I believe, Mark. Yay, here's Sandy, everybody. Sandy, do a twirl. Do a twirl. You like? Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Well, let me tell you what we used for Maress with Sandy. And again, you know, the haircuts were done by Anthony, and it was so inspiring to see the way that he works and kind of the quirks that he has with the way he works as well. So he did this beautiful, beautiful haircut because the fringes are very, very in at this moment in time. So he did this haircut. The technique is, it's two colours. There's a 4-0 in here, which is a medium brown, natural, and there's a 6.66, which is an intense red. An intense red. And here's how easy, I mean, would you all agree it looks like there's a lot of red in there? Yeah? Now the sectioning, literally, can you crouch down a little bit for me? Because you said that. The sectioning, because we wanted it to be a little quirky. Turn this way for me, and let's turn this way. The sectioning is one line of foils, but it's a little off. It's a little off. You know, because we tend to section and we'll do the top section like that or whatever. So the section goes from the center to the temple, straight across to below the crown on the other side. And it's about 8 foils. That's also center of the fringe, temple, straight back to below the crown. 8 foils in there with 6.66 of dark blonde, red, intense red. That's all the red that's in there. Even though look how much it looks like it's in there. Because when that falls, it's going to fall throughout the hair. So it looks absolutely beautiful. What's that? Oh yeah, you're sorry. I do that to all my models. So yeah, she stood up. So hey Mark, come here. This is Mark, everybody who's been moaning at me. Come out. This is Mark. Come out. This is Mark's being So there's a lot of red. Now the foils went in with the intense red, and then in between the foils was the 4-0. And then the whole thing was developed for 35 minutes and removed. But that's how much colour you get for very little work, which is what I love. Yes?
Spin a little slowly. Can you spin a little slowly so we can see it all? Yeah. Really slow. There we go.
You actually thought we were moving. They've got a rotating stage here, you know. Yeah, it's that choreographed? No, it kind of comes natural, you know. I don't know what it is. I think I used to be a dancer in a previous life. Yes. Anyway, everybody, so that is Sandy. Sandy, thank you very much for now. And let's bring on Tony. So Tony, you there? I love this. Okay, all right. Who else in here? Give me some of these markers. Who else in here gets really, really disappointed with that violence? You know, you want to put a real violence. Let's move you and spin you. You'll see. I love this. I love this because violet is actually a really, really difficult color to get into the hair. And what we've been able to do with Maress is to really get a pure violet, which I think is spectacular. So, what is on her hair? I've forgotten. No, I know it's violet. Okay, all right. Sectioning. Sectioning. Okay. It wasn't. Sectioning is very similar to the other one. It comes back through, like the section on Sandy's, but we continue to make a Y out of it. Right, so section, middle, temple, back, to below the crown, and then put another leg in this side that's a Y. So there's probably like 12 foils in all, but look at the amount of colour again. You know, the amount of colour is just spectacular. So the colours used in the foils with Maress was a 5.2. 5.2, there's no zero in there, so it's all violet. It's all violet. 5.2 is on a light brown level violet. Right, and that was done with 30 volume. And then in between the foils was a 3.0, which is a medium brown. So again, it's a quick, easy application. I love it. Do you like it? Yeah. Do the walk over there before. And then another colour that I think is really very, very important for our portfolio in the salon is to have beautiful, beautiful coppers. Beautiful coppers. A lot of ranges, I don't know whether you feel like me, a lot of ranges end up with their coppers looking a little bit pinky. Yeah. Or not what I would, and it's not just because I love my mom, but not a real true Irish copper. Because my mom's a wee Irish girl, she talks like that. She says, Paul, you're a fine figure of a man. I say, thank you, Mom. No, but you know, a true Irish copper. So let's bring Sydney out and take a look at this, because this was a big change. Here's Sydney, everybody. Sydney, do a twirl for us. Okay, now this for Sydney, everybody, and this is coming from 350 hairdressers in the room. Isn't she a gorgeous redhead? Oh, yeah. You know something? It's really, for me, it's very, very interesting because to explain what Sydney looked like yesterday, and I think she's like a lot of clients that come in. You know, she's young and she's gorgeous and all of that. But she had a lot of highlights in her natural hair that is like 5. A lot of highlights. Now, you know, sometimes when a lot of highlights in the hair, it just looks dead. Right. Yeah. Do you agree? Yeah. And I think, quite honestly, I think for all of you in Florida, it's probably worse. Yeah. It's probably worse because, I mean, you get that hair that's looking dry and lacking in colour, and then you get the weather that you get. I don't know what these blondes must look like by the end of the summer. I mean, I suppose you've got a lot of colour correction on your hands, but that's kind of a good thing. So she was like old highlights. You don't mind me saying it was kind of boring, and it looked dry, didn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right. So formula. formula here was, I'll tell you now, let me just get around to it. Formula was from Duress 7.44, which is a medium blonde intense copper. Medium blonde intense copper. And the underneath was a 5.43, which is a light brown copper gold. It's a light brown copper gold. Now, the sectioning was pretty simple. Sectioning was really deep V's taken all around the head. Let me move you and turn you. Okay, let's spin that. I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. Can you see? Right now, you know, it's beautiful, but then it's V's throughout the head, always below the crown, and never hitting the hairline. So deep V's. So when her hair moves and shifts, you'll see the change in tone in it. The colours were put on with 30 volume, even though she had highlights on it, because with old highlights, it can tend sometimes. If you know, normally with Moresse we would use 20. But the reality is that sometimes when you go for a lower developer, it can brown out a little bit on extremely porous hair. So we went, in this case, with 30. And developed it for 35 minutes. And there she is. You like? Okay, thank you, Mark and girls. So listen, let's stand you up. All right, it's very simple, but it's very, very undone, and it's very, very elegant and gorgeous and easy. Sharing ideas. Thanks for listening to me babble on for 45 minutes. You're fantastic. And hopefully we all get some ideas around it. Pete has put some deals together if anyone wants to try the feature the colours that we have. So there's like a red deal and a blonde deal and a brunette deal that he's got. I think they're $24.95. Pete, you'll have to tell me if I'm wrong there, or Rich. Rich is too busy. Rich goes, no idea. That's a good salesperson for you, isn't it? Yeah. But you know, thanks for listening. We're going to carry on now, and I'm going to bring Anthony on the stage. And Anthony, you know, did amazing haircuts on the girls, and he's going to do a couple in front of you as well. You know, he's such a talent. You know, an amazing background from the people that he's worked with over so many years, and now he has some crazy titles like creative man of La Mancha or something. You know, but he's extremely talented. You know, and now he's heading up Label M in the USA. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the talent of Anthony Edge.
Drum going around like bum bum bum. What's grooving? I'm moving. I like your style of lumping. How charming, just a rapper. Load him up and eat that snapper. I want 16 pints of rum and then I go bum bum. Blowing up in the dark in the night, and so I go oh I brought a pie in my pocket, and I am a sucker. No got lies, no got style, no got nothing on my mind, but I'm so cool and I'm so groovy when I go bum bum bum. Like style of romping. How charming, just a rapper. Load him up and eat that snapper. I want 16 pints of rum and then I go bum bum. Blowing up in the dark and the night, and so I go, oh, I brought a pie in my pocket, and I am a sucker. No got life, no got style, no got nothing on my mind, but I'm so cool and I'm so groovy when I go bum bum bum. I'm so cool and I'm so groovy when I go bum bum bum.
Hi guys. Let's get this party started, eh? Okay, welcome to the Label End section. Like you said, my name's Anthony. I'm going to do some presentation models, which you've already seen some of the models already. I've done some boys, so I've put some of you girls, you're going to have some boys on the audience, or boys on the stage. And I'm going to do a little bit of personalising for the first haircut, just to break it up. I've done most of the haircut already, and then I'm going to do a big change for one of the haircuts. She's going from here to off. Okay, so just a really nice little kind of short little pixie haircut. This is what you see a lot in fashion at the moment. The key trends, what you're seeing in hair at the moment, is you're seeing a lot of variations of bobs. Okay. Bobs have been around for many, many years, okay? Some people say, when did the bob come out? Did Vidal Sassoon do it? Did Tony and Guy do it? Who did the bob? You know, in a way, Cleopatra, she had a bob. Alright? I wasn't around then. So, you know, obviously a bob's been around for many, many years, and it's still fashionable to today. You know, obviously a longer kind of shape you're starting to see in the bobs. You're starting to see a lot of fringes, okay? I know you call them bangs in this country, but if I said a bang, I'd get something else in England, okay? So, which I'm quite happy with that. But obviously a fringe, very popular. Short fringes above the eyebrows, okay? Quite strong. Fringes are very popular, okay? Not for everybody, I'll be honest. It's usually the client who comes who's not got the perfect face shape and she wants a fringe up here. Yeah? And I say you need a fringe here and I'll cut 2 holes. It's my favourite haircut. She said, I want some shake for the front. To my chin. Which chin? Well, it's like when a lady comes in and she said, I want it to my boob, and then she takes her bra off and it's like my favourite haircut is like, you know, when a client comes in and says, I want 1 layer. What? Yeah. And I say, today we're doing a promotion, it's buy 1, get 1 free. Yeah? Can I have 1 layer here or here and here? How many layers do I have? Okay. So, going back to the key trends this season, there's a lot about fringes, okay, or bangs, a lot of variations of bobs. See a lot of pixies. I don't know if you've seen a lot of celebrities recently. I know social media is very big in the US, bigger than back home for me. So, you know, like Pamela Anderson was the latest one, who's taken all her hair off completely. So it looks phenomenal. So I don't know if you follow like social media or different things like that. Well, it looks really good when you see somebody going from drastic long to short. So you see a lot of that kind of pixie kind of length. Okay. Some of you might have seen our lookbook. This is our current lookbook for this year. I don't want to sound like a salesperson, I'm a hairdresser, but I know Salon Centre and Pete and the rest of the guys are doing a great promotion on Label and stuff tonight. It's only for tonight, only for you guys for the show. This book is half price. Okay, so this is a great lookbook which is inspiring for hairdressers in the salon. salon owners, trainees, and also for our clients. Because if we end up doing boring work and we say we don't give our clients choice, you know what's going to happen? They're going to give us a choice and go somewhere else. Okay? We're only as good as our last haircut. Okay? And if we show our haircuts and shapes like this to our clients and go, would you like to go this kind of texture, these kind of lengths, then the clients are going to have some fun. And we're going to have fun. Okay? So it's creative. It's not advertisements, there's nothing like that in there. It's going from men to avant-garde to fantasy, but also the step-by-steps and how to create these gorgeous looks. Okay? So this is half price tonight. If you want to get it, I can sign it for you, and it's worth nothing. Alright? This is our brand new book. This is the only one in the country. This gets launched in January. This is the 2014 collection. This is what I'm going to show you tonight. You are the first in the whole of the US to see the DVDs and the hair from the 2014. Because we launched this in January. This is my last show this year, okay? I'm not working now till January. So I spoke to Pete and to Richie and said, you know what, let's do the 2014. The DVDs are that new that they got sent to me 2 days ago. This book got shipped in from London 2 days ago to my hotel here in Jacksonville. So this is just the only book we've got, the only imagery we've got around the room with these posters. If any of you like any of the posters and the banners from Label M, you can have them, because I've not taken them home. So I'll sign them and you can put them in your salon. Alright? So if you like any of the imagery outside or around the room, I will sign them and you can take them and have them in your salon for free. Okay? But this is our book for this next year. We are taking pre-orders. So if you really want to be the first in the country to have this book, okay, and you get it in January, you can take a pre-order on this, okay? But the rest of the section now for me is I'm going to play another DVD all about our brand new collection, our brand new campaign of Label M, okay? Talking about like lots of variations of bobs, lots of variations of textures, short fringes, even for men's hair, high horseshoes, very high scissor over comb, very high clipper work, okay? Side partings, even shaving in a parting in a man's hair. Very 50s inspired, very James Dean. You're starting to see a lot of this kind of stuff at the moment. So, Rich, if you can fire away our brand new collection, DVD, and we'll turn the lights down and I'll come back in a bit. Okay, thanks guys. And I put it backstage. I would have loved to just put it on stage, but I didn't want to keep you here forever. Okay, so I thought because it's a really nice, powerful haircut, and it's very similar to the back one here. So this image here, I don't don't know if anyone can see it, but it's our brand new image in the middle there from our brand new collection book. It's this look, okay? How we've approached it, okay? She had long hair, okay? So what I did a halo, okay? So a little halo section, okay? So a couple of inches back from the forehead, halo round to above the occipital bone and below the crown, and then curving round like a little halo, and then isolating the top out of the way, okay? And then through the underneath, I started to layer first. Some of you in this room probably do the perimeter first. That's not wrong, all right? You know, everyone has their own ways of approaching a haircut, okay? Classically, I would do the baseline first, and then I would do the layer. But a little bit more advanced approach is I layered it first, and then I cut off all the hair off the length. Okay, everyone's approach is different, okay? It's a bit like, do you do the fringe first? Or you just start at the back first, or do you do a layer first? Sometimes it's nice to just change it up. Sometimes we feel like a robot sometimes, okay? Yeah, square layer. Might be creative today, I'll take the corner off. Alright, so, you know, at the end of the day, we want to share with you something very simple. This is the new long, I'll be honest, okay? You see what Paul did as well. Funny enough, we don't work together. This is the first time me and Paul have done something together, but he showed me pictures what he wanted to show on the show. I showed him our lookbook. Everything was the same. Because we get inspired from the same. When you think about it, our clients get the same inspiration. Every client reads Vogue, Marie Claire, they look at social media, they look at certain magazines, and they see certain clients, okay? And, you know, obviously they get inspired from certain looks, okay? So, you know, obviously Jennifer Aniston out there, there's certain supermodels, there's Victoria's Secret models, and just recently it's been the Victoria's Secret fashion show, so everybody wants to look like a Victoria's Secret model sometimes, and you go, yeah, well, she did. You've been the 8 o'clock client, and you'll be the last one. I've been cutting your hair with my teeth. But, you know, obviously everybody wants something a little bit different. So how I approach this, I'm just going to personalise on stage. I've put all the foundation in there already. So to take you through the haircut, okay, underneath the halo, so all the halo was basically isolated out the way, clipped out the way. And then underneath, I started at the front. Okay, so what I've done here, I worked a vertical section through the front, right through the middle, okay? I've elevated it at 90, okay? And I've knocked off the corner. How short, excuse me, how short did I take it? I used the face as a guideline. Do you want it to the lip, chin? Do you want to open it up more? Do you want a sweepy fringe? Okay? The shorter you take it, it's all about suitability at the front, okay? So in this case, I just brought everything out at 90, okay? And then what I did then, I've over-directed all the hair beyond the ear, so beyond the ear, everything over-directed into the middle. So create a concave layer. Really simple. So it's square in the middle, everything's concaved all the way through. So when I'm over-directing, what's happening is I'm maintaining length. Client's happy when she hears that. Yeah? If I start cutting all the hair off, she's not going to be impressed. Okay, so really what we've done then is over-directed the whole lot to the middle, okay? We did exactly the same on the opposite side. So I'm just following the same way I've just cut it, okay? Just to share with you another little new haircut from our new collection. We're point cutting through just to keep it really loose. I spoke to her already, I said to Cindy, look, I'm bringing you back on, but I'm not going to cut all your hair off now. She's had a lot cut already off. And the back area, okay, underneath the halo, remember that halo's clipped up. So underneath the halo now, we took a vertical section through the back. We brought it out at 90, okay? And I took an area shorter. Okay, how short do I take the back? How short do I want to take the length? If I want long hair, then I'm going to use the perimeter as a guide. If I want to take it shorter, then I'm going to take this shorter again. Okay, it's honestly up to you. Okay, you make it your haircut. As a hairdresser, I don't get paid for how much I cut off. I get paid for how much I leave on. Okay? If I got paid for how much I cut off, all my clients would have my haircut. It'll be $500. Pick a number between 1 and 2. And the new collection next year is a number 3. Okay, so I'm basically just over-directing everything into the middle again. Okay, so I work with one section, 90 on the base, and then over-directing all the hair into the middle. Okay, and that's how I've completed all the underneath. Then I clipped out all the underneath, making sure that I don't cut anything off the length. Okay, and then I worked in the halo. So then this is disconnected. For some of you in this room, you might not disconnect. Okay, this is why it's an advanced haircut. Okay, so instead of doing like a square layer every day, and you're doing a disconnection. And I think most of you have noticed you can see the disconnection in there. Can you see the short piece already where it was the front? It's completely disconnected. Okay, so I make up a new guideline. It's longer. If I came here, I'll be honest, 10 years ago, I would have took the internal shape or interior shorter. Most of us in this room have done that haircut. Keep my length. Yeah. I want to change and I want that much off. You can do anything you like. Yeah. And what you end up doing, you end up going shorter, shorter, shorter. Before you know it, you're picking up Radio Florida. Antenna. So all of a sudden, yeah, what do you do? Yeah, 10 years ago that was really fashionable to go shorter, 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 shorter. Yeah, nowadays it's about having more length on the top, not going crazy with the disconnection, not being too disconnected. Because if you say to a client, or even to you guys as a hairdresser, you go, I don't want a disconnected haircut, I had one of them one of these, oh, I had one of them, oh, no way, never again. Because it looked too disconnected. It looked like you had 3 haircuts going on. It looked like everything in the kitchen sink. Alright? So some people get a bit scared of it. So it's a subtle disconnection. When you think about it, the disconnection is about 2 inches out. It's not massively disconnected. So we're leaving it longer, okay, and then making up a new guideline. And what we did with the guideline there, we followed the head shape, like a round layer. Some of you might call it a uniform layer. Okay, whatever you prefer, but it's rounded to the head, so there's no corner, there's not going to be a weight line, it's just very soft and rounded to the head. Really subtle. Beautiful for curly hair, all hair types, right? Straight to curly, to fine to thick, because you're working with a nice seamless layer. And what seamless means is where you can't see the layer starting and you can't see the layer finishing. And that's what people get scared of when they do disconnections. And they can say, I can see where it's disconnected, good luck, darling. It's a bit like when you go to the we've all been to the Orlando Hair Show, or some of us have, yeah, we've been to big exhibitions. How many times have you seen a platform artist on stage picking it up, smoke machine, going, yeah, 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 I'm really, yeah. And then you're walking past that stand going, oh, imagine that poor girl, yeah, when she goes home and washes it. Because they hide it with loads of products, loads more products. Oh, it looks nice, wait till you wash it. Yeah. She's got like 2 strands of hair. Yeah. Okay? So, you know, it's not about getting, you know, if you don't want to personalise it as much as I'm doing, you don't need to. But this haircut's all about having a shattered edge. Okay? Probably how I feel about in an hour, shattered edge. Okay, so basically just bringing everything up, and we're concaving in the halo. So basically, so we'll go back through the haircut. The halo is just following the head shape, rounded and inverted, so you get a concave shape. And then just slicing it through, just to bring out some beautiful texture. Okay? And then, you know, if you wanted to, you can go into the perimeter, you can soften that. You can even use your blade like a razor and edge it all out, you know, make it a little bit softer. If you prefer the perimeter to be more structured, you can do that. But I love this softness to it, because every time you're moving it around and you're looking around, it looks great. Because, you know, hair is, you know, the biggest fashion accessory a man or a woman can wear now. Hair is the biggest fashion accessory. It's a big part of a woman's wardrobe. And a man's wardrobe. I'll be honest, men are worse than women nowadays. A guy comes in with an iPhone and goes, I want to look like that. And I go, I bet your girlfriend wishes you look like that. It's like me asking for Johnny Depp. I want to look like Captain Jack Sparrow with the lights off. So, you know, it's nice where, you know, guys are looking to see what they want to do, but also with ladies as well. You know, as a woman, you can take your makeup off. Yeah? You can throw your handbag on the floor. You can take your shoes off. Yeah? But you can't take your hair off. Alright? So when you think about it, if you're going out from work, what do? You put male makeup on, you do your hair up, and you take your flats off, and you put a high heel shoe on. Yeah? And it makes you feel more dressy. Okay? And it's the same with hair. Because the key to a good haircut now is versatility. Left, right, forward, back, messy, flat, you know, you can play around with it. And that's the key to a good haircut, is having that real change and a lot more versatility to the sort of overall feeling. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to blast it through now with some sea salt spray from Label M. I really want to go for that more of a beachier texture. I'm going to blast it through with a hairdryer underneath, and I'm just going to blast that through with a little bit of sea salt. It's all about texture. Okay, as a hairdresser, you can create an amazing shape. As a colourist, you can make amazing colour. Look at the colour what Paul's done, it's gorgeous. Okay? And then all of a sudden, to complement that, my haircut works really well. But I need a great product to give me the texture. You know, and that's why Label M's created by obviously inspired by hairdressers, made by experts. If you want to know a little bit more about Label M, funny enough, is in 42 countries around the world. It's been around now in the US for 4 years. It's 8 years old, this product line. And you should be very proud because this range is made in Florida. It's made, the whole range, for the whole world, for all 42 countries, comes out of Miami. Yeah. So this is very great. Yeah. So it's not made in China. Yeah, this is basically made back home. You know, I live in Miami. Okay. So I am English, but I live here because I do shows every week. I do one of these every single weekend, okay? Like I said before, I do about 400 shows a year. I do a lot of seminars all over the place. Label M now in 4 years is in 32 states. We've also covered the whole of Canada. So this is a great product line. Why? It's because hairdressers like it. It's created by a hairdresser. When it says it's going to be sticky, it's going to be sticky. If it's going to be firm, it's going to be firm. What I like about the range, hairspray is called hairspray. Wax is called wax. Nothing's called bubblegum. So it's really simple. Okay? So I'm just going to blast in a little bit of the sea salt, just really give me a little bit more of a texture what I really want to go for. Okay, so Mark and Paul, you can bring out the models now, guys. If you want it, you can bring out the rest of the models for us. That's great. Stand up. Thanks, baby. Cool. Excellent. Okay, so we've got a few extra models here. Obviously changing the hair as well. From obviously dressing from Paul's to mine. Oh, thank you. So, like I said before, I just want to share with you some of the shapes that we've been working on, which are really key. Okay, right, so I want to share with you before I go into a haircut. Okay, so my first model, just step forward one, that's brilliant. Okay, as you can see, it's got naturally curly hair. People pay a fortune for this, especially in Asia. Very popular. Okay, so it's got lovely curly hair, I love it, it's brilliant texture, I really wanted to work with it. And you know what I love? He said to me, I'll leave it natural, and I thought that's great. How many people nowadays have keratin and the straightening systems and stuff? You know, I cut Justin Timberlake's hair, and he has it all straight now, but his hair's like this naturally. And he said, I don't want it curly anymore, mate, I want it straight. Alright, so, you know, his hair's very much like this. But I love this kind of feeling to it. So what we wanted to do is have this more of a bowly shape, a little bit more of a grown out kind of feeling, a bit like a surfer dude, okay? Personally, I like his hair dirtier. And we had a good chat yesterday and I said, I bet you hate it when your hair's been washed. And he goes, I love it when it's dirty. Alright, because curly hair always sits better when it's natural, yeah, it's dry natural, or it's left that second day feeling. So the key product we worked here is souffle, because souffle makes your hair dirty. Okay, it's a cream in Label M, what makes your hair dirty. It's like soap. Okay, it's a brilliant product for us. Okay, I just scrunched that through, but the technique is disconnected around the horseshoe. It's just square graduation, 90, all around the head, square. And then I disconnected the top and left the length long. But what I did on the top, to create a different separation with curl, okay, I cut one square, like so, and then I did one shorter, and then one longer, and then one shorter, and then one longer, and one shorter. So when you cross-check it, it's going to be different lengths, yeah? So it's really cool for curly hair. If you want to take it to the next level, you could do one, the top going short to long like that, and then the next section, the opposite way. Then the next section that way. And it's really nice technique on the top with curly hair, okay? Instead of being always the same and cutting everything square all round. So different lengths on the top to create that distressed feeling. Thanks, bro. Okay, she looks like one of our models. We were saying, we have a picture, but she came in and she's like, I don't know, I don't it all cut off. She had one length hair, she had no layers, and she had no fringe. So basically what we've done, we've layered her hair and we've put in this fringe to make her eyes pop. It's amazing what a fringe can do to her face shape, okay, to her hair. It makes her hair look longer. We've obviously disconnected through the top. We've kept all the perimeter heavier through the underneath. So how I approach this, I basically worked horizontal through the sides and then a low horseshoe through the crown. And how I cut the top is a cut from shorter at the front to longer at the back. So it's basically, if I show you on a profile, darling, okay, thank you. Basically it's cut like this, shorter to longer, okay? But all the underneath, below the curvature of the head, is disconnected and it's one length to keep the structure. If I heavily layered here, this would go transparent. Her hair is very fine. I think most of us can tell that. So we want to make her feel like she's got more hair. Okay, so we've gone from shorter to longer, and then we've inverted all the hair into the middle to create that beautiful concave layer. And to really make her eyes pop, okay, it's working with a fringe. I met a boyfriend backstage and he goes, oh, I love my new girlfriend with a fringe. So it's amazing what a fringe can do, okay? I'll do anything for a fringe. Okay, Sydney, obviously we're working with a little bit of a textured kind of look there. Very, very fashionable at the moment. We've seen a lot of this like Alexa Chung, also like someone like Jennifer Aniston who had like a long bob. You know, you're starting to see that kind of mid-length kind of shape. Yeah. Okay, beautiful curly hair. Okay, it's nice to work with the natural movement. What we've done here, she wears it always over to one side most of the time. So she says I always seem to wear it going over to the right hand side. So what we started to do, we work with an asymmetric layer or an offset layer. Sometimes if you say the wrong word, it's hard to get it back to a client. How are we going to do a disconnection? No, you're not. Oh, you can't get it back. Yeah? Or we're going to do a step in your hair. It's the wrong word. Okay? We're going to do a weight line. Or asymmetric, people think this. But slightly asymmetric or offset is nicer, it's a softer approach. Clients just want to hear volume, versatile, easy to manage, suitable. Yeah? They don't want to hear 90, over-directed, look at the elbow. Yeah? So, you know, we don't need to get too technical, but what we've done here, we've just over-directed all the hair over to one side, internally, with the perimeter. We've kept it symmetrical, and just really working with that natural texture. Twist cutting the hair, a lot of freehand work. Twist cutting, back cutting, rip cutting, really breaking up and bringing out that natural movement. Lovely, you know. I was talking about before, obviously she had an updo with Paul, but we've seen this lot of this glamorous kind of wave coming back. Very much like that Jessica Rabbit, and it's kind of 1950s, 1960s pin-up girl, that kind of feeling. You're starting to see it where it comes over one eye, okay? If you're looking at a lot of hair magazines, you're looking in Vogue, Marie Claire, you've seen a lot of height coming over one side and then coming softly through one side. Okay, you start to see a lot of this, very elegant. We wanted to maintain maximum length, okay? Again, disconnecting internally, working with an offset kind of layering pattern, okay? Really loose through one side, wearing it over to obviously the left-hand side, so very loose. But key products here, you know, obviously the smoothing creams, with Label M, keeping it very glamorous, a little bit of volume mousse, okay? Some of our backstage favourites. I don't know if you had an opportunity to look at the Label M stand, but we have a box which is half price. It's obviously half price of cost, okay, I'll be honest, and it's all our favourite products what we use backstage at London Fashion Week. So I'll be honest, there's great deals. If you want to try some of our products, we've got a lot of half price offers using some of the great products that we're using on stage. Okay, thanks for Okay, like I said earlier, it's all about the boys as well. Obviously, high horseshoe section. This is all scissor over comb. We don't use clippers. Okay, he came in, it was all bushy. Okay, you know, we don't use clippers at all. So the whole lot is scissor over comb. The lighting backstage, I was like this by the end of it. So it's basically, it was quite long, his hair, so we're really taking it tight through the sides. You've seen a lot of this barbering techniques. And even skin fades, like skin, like zero. Like a zero, fade through, high horseshoes, high weight lines. Don't do it soft, do it horizontal. Put a weight line in the hair. Horizontal sectioning, and then scissor over comb to that weight line. Really cool at the moment. Keeping it square, keeping it masculine. Okay? And then what I did to make it even stronger, I put a parting in his hair. Just bring you, see that? See there's a parting in his hair. I didn't use clippers, I cut that parting in. Okay? Did that freehand, and I've cut and sculpted parting in. But the time consuming, if I was in the salon, get a clipper. Personally, I don't use clippers in the salon. The only time I use a clipper is my best friend at 10 o'clock in his bathroom and he wants a free haircut. Yeah? That's when you call them Saturday sections. Yeah? One big section of layer, there you go. You take your time in the salon, yeah, but you're paying in the salon. Alright, but what we've done here is square through the top, really high, a nice tight kind of graduation with a carved out party. Hope you like our presentation.
Much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. I don't know much about clothes and things. I just talk about talking to my friends when my cell phone rings. I don't care about this, that, the other, what you're talking about. I just show up, all done up, dance to my thing, get paid and I'm out. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. Buzzy blah blah, buzzy blah blah blah. Take me to my car. Got a 50-foot stretch limousine, color cream. Justin Wildenstein at my minibar. I got friends in high places with plastic faces. Boys in braces wanna change their races. I can't stop, cause I won't stop. The party starts as soon as my dress drops. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce.
We are live in Hollywood on the red
carpet with Amanda Lepore. Can you tell us, Amanda, who made your dress?
Some Mexican children in an LA sweatshop who work non-stop until their heads drop. They weren't allowed food or water to drink, but they still did a fierce job, don't you think?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Now about that dress.
Forget the dress, let's talk about my breast.
Speaking of breast implants, what should Paris Hilton do?
Paris who? I don't know much about clothes. I don't know much about clothes. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. I don't know much about clothes. I don't know much about clothes. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. I don't know much about clothes. I don't know much about clothes. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. I don't know much about clothes. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce.
We are now the official haircare brand backstage at London Fashion Week, and Label M now has been sponsored by the British Fashion Council to be the only backstage product backstage at all the catwalk shows. What you'll start to see, some of the packaging outside is now got the official logo of the British Fashion Week saying the only product backstage at London Fashion Week is Label M. Yeah, so we do over 40 catwalk shows a year. So all that hair there was all Label M, okay? And we're going to start doing more shows like that all the time. So it's not just about doing hair and hair shows, but we obviously do a lot of fashion shows, okay? So we like to bring London to Jacksonville, basically, that's what we're doing. So, you know, it's a great opportunity that I'm back here again in January, okay? It's my first time here, but I'm coming back in January, all right? And basically what we're going to do, we're doing a hands-on course. Okay, hands on me. Alright? Okay? No, literally, if you like the imagery, what we've just done, you've seen the posters, you like the book, you like the hair we're doing, you've got a great opportunity to have me and one of our colourists come here in January and go to your salon and do a hands-on. We've got 10 places, okay? And the discounting it today, it's usually a $600 course. And it's going to be $385 for tonight. If you want to book it tonight and you want to do it, you'll learn 10 haircuts in 10 colours in one day. And it's on real people, no mannequins. I don't like plastic dolly heads. Yeah, they all look like they live in LA. Okay? So if you really want to do some of the hands-on courses, we are coming back. So please feel free to speak to one of the guys tonight. It's a great opportunity to have Label M in your salon, or if you haven't got 10 people in your salon, a couple of from another salon, a couple from another salon, all teamed together, we'll have an amazing creative cutting and colouring day. And you'll learn 10 haircuts and colours in one day. Okay? It's very inspirational. Okay? So, this is my model Holland. It's all the way from Holland. So, what we're going to do, she's from Holland. Came on the boat. Okay. Welcome to the Supercuts demonstration. That's what you got, a $10 haircut. Graduated, what are you about? It's disconnected. I love it when you get a client going, my friend cut my hair. Is your hairdresser? No. Okay, so get rid of some of the length, it's easier. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to section off a hair, pre-section, and then we're going to take an undercut. Okay, like I said before, we're going to do like a little pixie haircut, little short little haircut. She's got gorgeous features, she's got gorgeous hair, so let's give her a really gorgeous little haircut. I'm going to bring Paul on later as well, because he's done the colour as well, it's a beautiful colour. Okay, so I'm just going to map out the sections. Okay, so we'll place these partings in, and then I'm just going to take it shorter than the underneath. I'm going to work with a graduation. Okay, so I'm going to graduate the underneath. Okay, and then I'm going to leave the top a little bit longer. I'm going to work with an offset feeling. Okay, so this is the last haircut. If some of you are like, wow, this is going on for a while. This is the last one. After this, it's the finale. So, it's nice to see something a little bit stronger with a little haircut. So we thought we'd keep Holland to the end so she can the star of the show. Okay, so just mapping out. I think the hardest thing about this haircut, guys, is finding a clip. Alright? Every salon I work in, there's a clip thief. You go to work with 3 clips and you come back with none. Okay? I like it when I work with you ladies and you put nail varnish on your clips. And you go, they're mine, they're pink. And I go, they're mine too, because I like pink. Wearing these shorts, I like any colour. Okay. So I'm going to isolate the top out of the way. I'll take you through the section, very, very simple. Okay. Clip power, pull that top. If you've got a clip, that's perfect. If you ain't, good luck. Alright, so if the guy's straight on, you can see there's basically a horizontal section through one side, but it's diagonal through the opposite side. So one comes lower and one goes higher, because she wears her hair going over to one side, so I've worked a little bit offset. For the guys here as well, you'll be able to see one higher, one lower. So basically one straight across and one's going down. Okay, for the guys here as well, I think you can see it on the profile. Yeah, straight across, one going down. So on the side, it's horizontal, going diagonal behind the ear. Okay, for the opposite side, it's worked like a triangle. Okay, so it's diagonal and diagonal. Okay, and then through the nape area or the back area, we've gone horizontal. Okay, below the occipital, or above the occipital bone and below the crown. And we've isolated the top out of the way. We're going to keep this long, but all the underneath is going. Okay, we're going to start at the sides. Well, actually, no. Start the car, somebody. Okay, so 90, decide on the length. Okay, see what sort of length you want to go for. Like I said, I don't get paid for how much you cut off, I get paid for what I leave on. I really want to make sure that she looks great. She's young, she's funky. 19. Oh, no, 19. 20. Oh, 20, I'm on you. 18, 20, right? Right, so she's 20 years old, we want to make her look like she's, a young, funky girl. We don't want to make, how many girls come in and say, I don't want to look older? Or make me look like my mum. You make me look like my nanny. I want to look 17. It's usually the opposite way around. I've got a niece, funny enough, who is 20 years old, and I cut her hair when I go back to England. And funny enough, if I give her a nice little haircut, the first person who loves it is my mum, who's her nana. And she goes, oh, I like her hair. Oh, can you cut mine the same? Yeah? And my little niece is 20 years old going, don't cut nana's hair like mine. And I go, yeah, it'd be great. She's like, no way. Yeah? But most people don't want to look older, they want to look younger. So, the older sisters and the moms and the aunties, usually follows one of the younger girls and go, yeah, what are you going for? If I shaved her hair off underneath, her mum and nana and aunties and that would hate it. Yeah? Because it's rebelling against the parents. Yeah? But then all of a sudden, if I leave it longer and softer and more feminine, ooh, I like that haircut. I like it. Can I have some feathers with the side? That's my favourite. And the client comes in, can I have some pieces, some feathers, a bit of gel? Yeah. That's my mum. Yeah. Bit of lacquer, bit of back combing. Okay. So again, it's personal. What you see and what I see. People say to me, what's the difference between a strong haircut and a soft commercial haircut? And I usually say about 2 inches. Because if I take this 2 inches shorter, it's more aggressive. If I take it 2 inches longer, it's soft and commercial. Take something above the eyebrows, ooh, strong. Take it below the eyebrows, it's soft. Okay? So again, it's very versatile. So I put everything out 90, very simple. Okay? I'm going to do exactly the same on the opposite side now. So just bringing it out. I haven't got a guideline, so judge your guideline where it's going to be. Starting at the sides. Hopefully I get it. If you go a bit short, then it's asymmetric. Yeah? And then you say asymmetric's good. Asymmetric's good on a Saturday when you've been out on a Friday. And then the client says, what's the name of the haircut? I say, it's called the Chardonnay. Because I had a few months left now. If you do the other side longer, you call it the Rioja. Okay, so decide on the guide, making sure that you're happy. Bring everything out on the base at 90. Okay. Very, very simple. Vertical graduation, it's always the softest way to graduate. You could even use a razor if you wanted to. You could razor this out, make it even looser. You could point cut it. Yeah, you could really texturize. Because she's got fine hair, I want to blunt cut it. I'm doing the whole lot blunt. You know what? You're seeing a lot of blunt looks now in fashion. You know, it all comes back round. It's like fashion. It's like a spring. It all comes back round again. God opens when the mullet comes back. Back perm, flat top, cap highlight, loved it. But you know, obviously fashion does come back round with a little twist. Okay, so we start seeing a lot of blunt looks, a lot of graduations, a lot more structure back into the hair again, got a bit more discipline, which is always nice. I think for the last 10 years it's all been about, yeah, handily, year by year back. Yeah, and I think, yeah, it's nice to put that structure back in. So basically everything's out at 90 on the base, very, very simple. Okay, if you wanted to keep it as a mullet, you could just leave all the back long. Turn it. But what we're going to do, we're going to carry on vertical, okay? If she had a very flat head shape, okay, you wanted to show more shape at the back, then I would call horizontal graduation. Alright, horizontal graduation is very good for someone who's got a very flat head shape or very fine hair, so you really want to show off the shape. The softest way you can graduate is vertical, then the stronger is diagonal, and then horizontal. And then you get a strong weight line in the hair. So if you want to see more shape, go horizontal. But you've got to be really disciplined on your elevation. Otherwise, good luck. It's like a wedge. Yeah? Good. Yeah. Then you say, you cut your hair last. You? Oh, it's nice. We've all done that one. I know I have. Okay. So everything out at 90. Vertical. Very, very simple. Nice little disconnection. It's very, very subtle. You know, to emphasize even disconnections more is colour. Okay. What I love about these kind of short shapes as well in fashion, it's great for the economy. Doesn't mean tomorrow you go back to the salon and cut everybody's hair off. But I do miss sometimes that Victoria Beckham bob. I hated it at one point. Short at the back and long at the front. Not again. And then the next client, short at the back and long at the front. Not again. Yeah? But you know what? It's great for the economy because, you know, those clients have to come back every 6 weeks for a haircut to maintain it. Yeah? When you think about long hair clients, you go, when did I see you last? February. God, when you had a bob, I was having Gucci and Prada. Now you've got long hair, I'm shopping at Target. It's amazing how, you know, obviously fashion can really adapt the way of living in the economy. You know, obviously with long hair clients, what do? We encourage colour, yeah, straightening systems like keratins and stuff like that. Encourage have different ways of styling or back bar treatments. And when you have obviously shorter hair, it's great because it can just keep on top. Like men, for example, they're great for the clients, for the salon. You know, I've got guys who come to the salon, they've got no hair, and they say, look, I want a bit, oh, it's grown loads. And you're like, okay. And every 3 weeks you come in for a haircut. And you're like, brilliant. Yeah, because then all of a sudden, yeah, it's maintaining that great kind of looks for those guys and making sure that they're happy. Okay, so we'll just carry on, just working vertical sections right through the back. Just make sure it's nice and clean. Hello, can you? Yoga. Nice when you got up on a chair. Check, make sure we're happy. Put your zooming in there, Rich. Looking good. And cut hair. Nice. Anybody wants to cross check it, I don't mind. I've done well tonight. Okay, so that's the underneath completed. You can see the beautiful little shape coming through. Now, before I drop the top down, if you wanted to, you could go in and personalise. That's what you see and what I see different. I'm just going to go in the perimeter. Just work that perimeter a little bit more stronger, a little bit more structured. If you like it feathered, you like it loose, you like it wispy, you can do. What you see and what I see are different. You never change that, guys. I'm not here to dictate. I'm not here to change the way you cut hair. All you guys and girls and everybody in the audience, you're all amazing hairdressers. Yeah, you've got a great clientele, you've got a great business. Label M's here just to share with you what we do as a company globally. If you like this product line, it's something that you want, something exciting. You like the education. Do you like education? Do you like haircuts? Do you like to see the latest trends from Europe? Yeah, this is a great product line then. It's not a discounted product line where you buy one, get one free. So no disrespect to you, if you like those kind of promotions, Label M might not be for you. If you like education, your team likes education, you like good education, you want to learn from the best. Okay? You know, we bring in the guys from London. It's not just about me. You know, I have a team now of 30 hairdressers who work for Label M, and they travel around. You know, we've got 4 more shows going on this weekend, all over the US. So all my team now are working, looking at all the new trends, and we want to share that with you guys. You know, I'm not here to teach how to cut hair. Like I said, you're all amazing. I'm here to share with you if you're on the right path. You know that the pixie haircuts are coming back in a big way. Do you know graduation's good? Do you know undercuts are great? Do you know that a fringe is amazing? Do you know, like, slight disconnection, variations of bobs? Okay, so I'm happy with the overall shape. And now the final section is just the top. You take all those out, because you've done all the underneath. You're never going to find that section again, but that's the best way to finish it. Otherwise you cut all this and then you're like, oh, where's the section? You're never going to find it. And then you make a new guideline up now for the top. How long do you want it? Do you want this to cover? Do you want this to be a bob? Do you want this to be a bob? Do you want it to be shorter? You make it up now. So make a new guideline up. Okay, so what we're going to do here now, we're going to layer it. Okay, we're going to literally work through the centre. We're going to work a rounded shape, following the head shape. No guideline, so I guess how short I want to take it. Okay, I look where this is going to fall. Okay, do I want it to open up the undercut? Do I want to see some of this? Or do I want to cover it all up? You know, it's up to you. What you see and what I see are always going to be different. Bring that out at 90 and then point cut through. Decide on that length. I'm happy with the length what we've got in there. Drop that down. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to over-direct everything into the middle. And pull that into the middle. Little concave shape. Nice, subtle, soft. Right? Bless you. That's our new Label M product coming out next year. It's organic. Yeah. God, that's like that in over here. Gluten-free, vegan, sulfur-free. I'll be coming with a coconut next time. Say, look, this is our new cleanser. Crack it, pour it. And the guy will go, oh, I'm allergic to coconut. But it's all about vegan and gluten now. Most people used to pick it up and just read it and say, yeah, I'll buy it. Now it's like, housewife, part-time scientist. Okay, so 90, follow the head, over-directing, concave shape, very, very simple, okay? We're going to just bring this down now, and we'll just break it up a little bit more, okay? Just loosely, Slightly break that up. When you point cutting, always leave it away from your fingers, especially on blonde hair like this. This is only why you get red highlights. What's that red in my hair? Why did I put that in? Yeah, we're blood friends. Okay. And then finally through the top now, using the crown as a guideline. I want to keep the length longer at the front. I want to keep a long sweepy fringe. Okay? So if you didn't want a short, you want a short fringe, just cut it square. In this case, I'm going to go from shorter, from the short piece where you can see it. That's my guideline at the back. And I'm just going to lift it up 90. I'm going to go from shorter to longer. Okay? All up 90, keeping the length in the fringe, or the bang. And over directing. It's warm up here. Don't need to go to Weight Watchers tomorrow. Nice. Hope you're having a good time. I'm having an amazing time. I hope. Good. All over to the middle. Okay, so everything through there. See the guide. If you can't see the guideline, don't take it too big. Don't guess it. That's usually the case. I take a big guideline when you're experienced and you can see the guideline. Most of us in here are very experienced hairdressers, and you can pick that up and you can feel it, you can see the guideline. And then you get your young assistant who does a training night, she takes a big guideline. She goes, "You took one on Saturday, I saw you." Yeah, and I say, "Yeah, well, can you find your guideline?" "No, I've been looking for it for 10 minutes. I've lost my guideline, I can't find it. I've been looking for it for 10 minutes. Do you know where it is?" "No." "It's over there in the trash, go and get it. Bring it back." I'm always doing classic haircuts. I want to do a disconnection. You don't realise you've done 6 already. Drop that down to natural form. This side is the square side, so we'll just drop it down, just point cut loosely through the one side square. And with the opposite side, it was going short to long. So we'll do the same on there. We're going to go drop it down, so it's going to work with a little slight offset feeling. She likes to wear it over to one side. Ooh, she's looking gorgeous. Same with the fringe, we'll have the fringe where it goes a little bit over to one side. If that's the worst it's going to look, I'm happy. So I put a little bit of thickening cream in here, a little bit of soft wax to give me a little bit of texture. Okay, ooh, check you out. Get a little bit of stuff. Okay, so you can blast it through. Okay, while I'm trying this off, I just want to share with you our new collection for next year. So like I said, if you do want to do a hands-on course with us in January, and you do want to see some of the shapes, I've got one book which you can have a look at. I'll bring it back to the store. It's the only book we've got in the country. If you want to pre-order it, you can do. But you want to see the shapes, what we're doing for the whole of next year, the colours, the shapes, everything like that. I'm going to play our last DVD now. It's called 50-50, because I think some of you know that Tony Guy is behind Label M. Okay? Tony Guy is 50 years old this year. Okay, Tony is a hairdresser. He runs Label M with his daughter Sasha. Okay, they have over 420 salons now around the world. The only product they carry is Label M. They have 24 academies. Okay, this product line is in 42 countries around the world. Okay, we would love some of you guys to be a part of our family. Okay, be a part of our family by joining Label M. If you like tonight's show, I'll be honest, if you like tonight's show and you like the hair, and you like me and my team, and you like Paul even, Paul's new to the area, same as me, okay? You like Paul, you like me at the show, and you feel like you want to see this again, you need to obviously support Label M and Kaaral. Because if you like Label M, then we can come back to Jacksonville every month. But if no salon carries Label M, we can't come back here. Alright, so if you like the show, you like the education, and you like the DVDs, then hopefully you'll be a part of our family. Okay, we'll play the DVD, Rich. A bit loud, music, a bit louder. Come on, love. Paul's obviously done the colour as well, so let's get him up in there. Obviously, she's just had a trim. Well, that's what we end the book, so I hope you like it, guys. Thank you.
The colour again, you like this one? We were talking about blondes with a little bit more colour again. From the rest, the high lift colour for the base is an 11-0, which is natural. Which I'm really loving using the natural because it lifts with the natural tones of the hair. So it lifted this beautiful. She was a 7. So she was a nice blonde, but a little dirty. She was a dirty girl. And when we lifted it, We then did some fine slices through the top parameter of the hair, almost working like pie-shaped segments through the top. And the colour that we used, again, 10-0, your white paint. In one batch of 10-0, we had 5 inches of intense red, 7.66. So a bowl, like a half a tube of 10-0, 5 inches of 7.66 intense. Not 5 inches of tube, 5 inches of squiggle. Right? And then in the next bowl of 10-0, we had 5 inches of 7.44, which is an intense copper. So what it does, the 10 is a white paint, the red gives a very, very, very soft champagne pink. And the copper in the 10-0 gives like a very, very soft apricot. A 20 in both of those, because we were already up there. So we were already light, because the 11-0 was with double 40 volume, so we would deposit and we used 20. And if you see this up close, you just see this beautiful, beautiful ripple. It's like, what it's like is like a shift in tone, which is beautiful, subtle, and you know, sometimes with very light blondes, we kind of get stuck to what to put in to make it more interesting. I think it's a great option of putting these very, very soft pastel tones in as well. And Anthony, that's how you say it in England, you know, Anthony. Anthony. Her haircut was fantastic. She's like a doll. You look beautiful. Well done.
I'll be testing the models out. And hope you enjoyed our show. We'll pour a little bit at the bar. What's the matter on the streets? I'm gonna follow you. I'll tell you what about the scene that you care for. You gotta know what's running right in front of you. But you won't see it by the light of the sun. Come on, tell me you're caressing me. I'll take you up, I'll tell you one, I'll take your everything. I wouldn't lie to you, not so won't you let it go. I'm gonna give you all you want, and don't you know that you
like Anthony and me.
Yeah.
But a few thank yous. Will you join us, please? Because these things don't happen unless there's some great people around us. So first of all, to Rich and Pete from Salon Centre, the 2 partners, everybody. What a great job to put this together. I think from the venue, to Dominic and to Jason, who did all the AV and the sound and the lighting. You know, unsung heroes at times. So guys, thank you very much. To our beautiful friends at Omni Salon over here, thanks for the use of that. You're awesome. Awesome. And anybody else? Oh, Hillary and Kaylee in the back who did Make It Loud Girls. They're future professionals. They're still in school, these girls, and they did all the makeup. What a great job. What a great job. And to Anthony, everybody, from Label M. Okay, and to Mark in the back. Oh, sorry, Mark. Come on, Mark. Mark, you there? No, he's not. He's in the front taking photographs. Okay. Everybody, thank you very much. We'll see you if you're hanging around in the bar. Yeah, we'll see you in the bar. Anything else? No. Thanks, everybody.
Alright, you'll go on it.